welcome Star Wars lovers and Derek's Toy subscribers. Today I've got a very special guest here, my man Dan Simmer. You probably recognise him from the Toy Crate Challenge that we did a little while ago.
That's it.
Simmer is a superstar eBay hawker, and we just recently, last Saturday, unveiled this beautiful one of first of the kind ever seen Tauntaun with a Walton sticker on it. And I didn't really go into the story about how it was found, and we'll go into that a little bit more, and we'll also have a closer look at the Tauntaun, and of course the gloves will come out. So where do we start? About how it was found.
Start at the beginning, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So as you said, mate, I'm definitely a serial hawker, and don't do anything super intelligent about it. I search Kenneth a dozen times a day, see what comes up. Search a few other things along those lines, and yeah, this came up, and I guess the story to me that is just still continues to spin me out is that it's just so improbable because, as you know, I've been rebuilding my vintage collection for the first time since we were 13, 14-year-olds buying it. I think I sold them all when I was 17, and so this is my first rebuy, and I'm probably about 80% of the way, maybe more now. About 85% of the way through a full set of figures. But I don't have any plans for any vehicles, any creatures or anything like that. I just wanted a pure set of the figures. So Tauntaun definitely wasn't on the agenda. I think I've got a couple of mini rigs, that kind of thing. But even though it's like I just want a nice display of the figures, so it wasn't on the agenda. So I'm just scrolling, looking for figures. And yeah, this thing popped up, and
Can I pause for 1 second for a bit of a backstory? So a few weeks, I don't know, maybe a month beforehand, he sends me links all the time. This good deal, and he sent me one that I think it had an Imperial Gunner in it and an R2 pop-up.
Yes.
And you go, should I buy it? And I looked at it, and I think it was buy it now, $200 or something. It wasn't a lot.
No, wasn't.
And I said, yeah, man, buy it. And he left it too long, and he didn't get it. And I said, man, just anything Star Wars, man. If it's reasonably priced things, but just buy it, man. Like, you're never going to lose, really.
Yeah.
So then
we knew the gunner was there, but then we had a good look, and then we realised the R2 pop up as well.
So since then, he's pretty good at finding the buy now ones, and he just pulls the trigger now. So anyway, go back. I just wanted a little bit of backstory.
I did a couple of nice random things over the years too.
Yeah.
I like that Vader variant.
Yeah, he had a Taiwan only Vader. He's found some nice stuff. Those buy now, I never ever scored anything decent like that when they come up. But I don't hawk eBay as much. There's deals out there. But anyway, continue. So I just wanted a bit of a backstory of his hawking ways.
Yeah. So this thing turns up, and I'm not looking for a Tauntaun. I'm definitely not somebody who collects boxes or anything like that. But it turned up at a price, and I'm like, just going to buy it. So I just grabbed it, spur of the moment. Obviously paid for it on the spot, and then just went, oh yeah, that's cool. And in my mind, I sort of thought, oh yeah, there's a couple of figures in it. I'll give them to Derek, he'll flog those. I give him the box to sell, he'll flog that, and I'll probably come out of it with a free Tauntaun. And what the hell, it's pretty hard to find one with brains. So that was the entirety of my thinking about it. And and what would normally happen, I guess, where to me the improbable things happen is normally I would have got this. I don't have my display set up at the moment. Probably would have sat in a cupboard for a couple of years without doubt. I would have had a plan to give it to Derek. I would have told him, on a run we run every Friday, I would have said to you, mate, got this Tauntaun, I'll give you the box, give you the figures, blah, blah, blah. And that would have been it. You would have gone, oh yeah, whatever, Tauntaun. But, for whatever reason, I flicked him the eBay link in real time. I think I bought it maybe an hour earlier or half an hour earlier, or even less than that. We were both at work and said, hey, just bought this, I'll hand it over to you to sell the things. I'll just have a nice Tauntaun. And you sent me a text back pretty quickly, I think, going, mate, the words were, I should have found the text, like, it was something like, I think that sticker makes that a very rare thing.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
And I wasn't talking about the Walton sticker, I was talking about the office sticker. I was in the middle of work, I was doing something for work. I was working from home, but I was in the middle of something and I wasn't thinking properly. And I said, oh, that's special offer. I'm pretty sure that's something, but my head wasn't all right there. And then I thought about it for a couple of minutes, and then I went back to the link, and I think I called you.
You sent me that text, and one of us called each other.
Yeah. And I said, mate, that price tag, does that say bloody Waltons? I think that was the first thing I said.
And also, more context, like I was in one of the most important periods of my career, writing one of the biggest tenders of my life, one of our biggest clients. Like, it was consuming all of my time, bloody 12, 14 hours a day kind of thing. So this is happening in the middle of that, and I just take this weird brain detour. It was freaking awesome to do. But anyway, you called me,
Yeah, so that says Waltons, right? And he's like, Yeah, and I said, mate, that's ridiculous item. I don't think that's been seen before. And he's like, oh yeah, what you know? What do you think? Like $500 or something was worth?
First you said to me, you went like, "Is Walton's, is that department store?" And I'm like, I started googling like mad. Like we were having this real time fucking. Excuse the language.
That's right, making that one off here.
Real time explosion of kind of. Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? What is that? Is that? Yeah.
And I said, mate, just pay for it, man. I think you did straight away, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
I said, mate, pay for it. I said, is it dodgy to ask for express? I said, just pay for it, man. Whatever. Just give him the post. Oh. And then he posted pretty quick, didn't he?
Well, he posted it pretty quick. We sweated on it for about a day, but the next day it was posted, and then we realised he'd sent it by Sendle. And we were like, oh.
And then when he said he was sent by Sendle, I was like, oh.
Just last week I had 2 parcels from Sendle. One was thrown over my fence, and the other one looked like it had been driven over.
Oh, I've only used Sendle twice, but I never used them to send, but I was receiving. And one of them was just from, we're in WA, from Victoria. It took about 3 weeks. And the tracking was ridiculous. It was going bloody backwards, left, right, up, down.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, my God, this with Sendle, we're having a heart attack. And it came pretty quick though, didn't it?
It was like 8 days. It was probably one of the quickest Sendle parcels I've ever had.
Yeah. Probably longer for normal interstate parcel, but it wasn't too bad. Yeah. Anyway, it got back quite well, didn't he? And,
yeah. But in the meanwhile, in between that time, you and me are just continuing to research like mad.
Yeah.
And we're looking up anything we can find out about Waltons and stuff, and we're finding all the websites. I'm sure anybody who's interested in this piece would know already. And then we land on this video with that had one of your guys in your last video was in it, right? We land on that video. I found it on YouTube, and I'm again just searching, and this comes up, and it's like a celebrations panel. With those guys, with your brother as well.
Yeah.
And they're talking about Australian collecting, and so I'm just watching this thing, and then they get to a section on the Walton specials, and they're just talking about them, and they bust out this one slide, and it's got pictures of all the different Waltons ones on it, and they're talking about them and how rare they are, etc., etc. And I'm just willing them, in my brain to say something about this one, and they go, they said something like, to give you an idea of how rare, all of these have only been seen once or twice, and they go, except that Tauntaun. And that Tauntaun's never been seen before, and I just, I'm going to swear, I lost my shit, and I called you up and said, mate, sending you a link, and don't watch it all, just go to this minute for that video. You start flipping out as well, and we're going, holy hell.
And then it occurred to me that about probably 10 years ago, someone had asked me to find this for him, and I promised that if I ever found it, he would get first dibs at it. So this was pre-sold, and I can't believe that I didn't realise immediately that it was a special offer with the Walton sticker. So obviously I was busy, it was that long ago that it happened, and so it's obviously a big piece of Australian history, and we were able to probably uncover a little bit of how the offer was presented to the public in retail and stuff like that by opening it, etc. So let's have a look, shall we, Sam? Without further ado, have we missed anything from the story?
No, I didn't open it when I got it. I brought it over here, and we just took the moments, enjoyed things. What did we want to see? We wanted to see. We'd already seen the figures from the photos, but we wanted to see what they were like. We were hoping to see if there was any paperwork.
I was hoping for some kind of never before seen Walton's paper in there, or a Walton's Australian baggie or something that no one ever knew of. But we didn't get any of that, unfortunately. But I think we did come to some conclusions. But so Dan's gone out and bought a lovely acrylic for it. So the condition was that nice that at one point I thought the box was reproduced, but if you're going to reproduce it, why would you sell it for next to nothing and buy it now? So it's clearly not. It's definitely 100% genuine. But the condition's so beautiful. Like it's almost straight off the retail shelf, isn't it? Like it's just got that light shelf where we see a tiny bit of, just on the corners, that little bit of the litho kind of coming loose, and you can see the whiteness under the print of the black, just on the corners really. Other than that, it's dead flat. So the conclusion we've come to is this was factory sealed prior to it being listed on eBay. So the legend was always, it was tape sealed, and then at Walton's the stores would slit it and put figures in there and then stick the special offer sticker on there about coming with 2 free figures. Yeah. Now no one ever knew how that was done, whether it was baggies, whether they grabbed figures off the shelf and stuffed them in. I thought that grabbing card figures off the shelf, I thought it would be too hard, because how are each store going to have that many Luke and Han Hoths, like specifically? So I thought baggies, or I don't know, but we'll see. So what we can see here is one side is still factory tape sealed. The other side has the factory tape and then the extra tape. Hang on, which one's that? This one. And the extra tape, which is the one that was slipped for this sale.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that's the sealed one, isn't it? That's the sealed one. So that's the one that had the factory tape, then the retape of Walton's. That's still sealed. The one that was factory opened for the eBay listing was here, just slipped nicely, slipped beautifully. But unfortunately, when he opened it, he's just pulled on that flap bit too much, and there's a slight rip there. That's the only flaw on this box. Otherwise, it was just.
Oh, it's like it's off the shelf.
It's just immaculate.
The colours are beautiful.
Yeah, when you do that, you just got to lift that tab over that flap, over the internal flap, just to prevent a rip. So obviously, he's opened that a little bit hastily. But
well, the other thing to say about the seller too, which we haven't mentioned, is because I ended up contacting the seller and just saying, you've got anything else and those kind of things, and it's actually like a salvo store or a second-hand kind of store. So it was quite interesting to get something like this good. It's not somebody who's looked after it themselves. It's somebody who's sent it on somewhere, and it all looks like it's comes straight out of a box. Like the colour of that blue, that red.
This hasn't seen the light of day, most definitely. It's fresh, the print's fresh, it's not touched. Since this person purchased it at retail, it's gone home and that's it. So what we found when we opened it was the figures, Hand Hoth and Luke Hoth were in. I'll put them in a baggie just so they don't scrap up against anything, but I'll put them out. The figures were absolutely dead mint, so they had 100% not been played with. The Hong Kong figures, so they're correct, but any vintage toy collector, Star Wars vintage toy collector, will know how hard it is to get a nice Luke Hoth. I mean, it's not a valuable figure, but it's really hard to get super white, no paint rubs. Like, it's a real hard figure to get mint.
The thing too is they're really shiny as well, aren't they?
Really shiny. And like that Luke Hoth is, I've got a beautiful Luke Hoth, which took me about 15, 20 years to get, until my son dropped it in a recent video. But I love my Luke Hoth, and that's like, it's equal, it's spectacular. It's weird blue dot, but that's factory on the back of an elbow. Perfect like that. You don't get that Luke Hoth. And hands obviously, and they're tight limbed, like they've never been moved at all. No paint scratches. And then they were both just in there loose with weapons, so no baggies or anything like that.
Correct weapons, right?
Correct weapons, yeah. So and obviously they're genuine. But the correct blue hand rebel blaster and Luke Hoth's off rifle. So
they were throwing figures in, but they were taking care. They knew. They also matched the figures that are actually on the on the box too.
They must have. Surely, I reckon Walton's each store received a massive bag with had 50 of each figure and 50 each weapon or something like that. Or because if they were in baggies, they wouldn't bother taking them out. They would have just thrown them in. So they must have been throwing in some massive bag. I mean, look, this is just what I think. And I'm only new to Walton's, really. I'm not an expert at all, but I've spoken to a few of the gurus, and that's kind of what they think. And this kind of confirms a lot of it too. So this is the other reason why we think this is untouched. Like, it's got interior cardboard, just ridiculously pristine, untouched. Like, it's such nice condition that there's no way that this is I don't even think, been removed from the cardboard. So
the other thing we took a lot of joy from too is if you look at all the other stuff out there about Walton's, about the figures that were in there, it's all about speculation. So this would be about as close as you could get to confirming what they were trying to do, which looks like they were trying to match the figures to what was on the artwork. And
I don't know, maybe the guy at the seller opening it did us a favour, because if we receive this sealed, who in their right mind would open it? No. Like, you keep it, you don't open a sealed item, especially something like this. So you would never know. You have to go through some sick X-ray machine or something. But so I don't know. Anyway, so they've had not been folded or anything. They've got that tiny couple of spots of that yellowing, which is pretty common with something sold to paper. But that hasn't been handled. It's lovely. I'm not even going to unfold it. And this Tauntaun, like, it's still in its interior cardboard. It hasn't been removed from that. You can see, like, there's not even this hint of movement whatsoever. So that has not left that weird internal factory cardboard of the Tauntaun. And then you look at the tummy. This is why I actually don't like this Tauntaun. That is so hard to get not yellow, that open belly Tauntaun. It's always super yellow, and that's as close as you can get to dead mint of that. It's just got a little light tinge of yellow. That's why I like the closed belly Tauntaun. I've mentioned it in some of my other videos. The closed belly Tauntaun doesn't go yellow. You get a beautiful, nice white tummy, and it's mint. No matter how lovely this is, you can never get a mint one, and that's about as close as you can get. And it's the correct saddle for it, etc. As James advised me, with the wide strap. So yeah, that's not come out before, and it's not going to come out at all either. So I'll pop that there for a second. So yeah, this is as close as you can get to factory sealed, I guess. But amazing condition.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy condition. Even the placement of the Walton's price tag is great. It sits nicely with the other stickers, you know? It
does. And funnily enough, from my reveal video, someone contacted me and another one of these has turned up. It's in pretty trashed condition. But I I'm trying. That was also purchased on eBay quite cheaply a few years back, I believe. But it's not in any kind of condition like this, and it was opened. But that Walton sticker was, I think, here. And initially, when he sent me the photo, I said, "Oh, it's got a Walton sticker," but it was here near the Tauntaun, the white of the Tauntaun, so it didn't. And it's quite worn. I'm not going to pop a photo of that up because it's not my content. That's not my decision to make. But so another one of these pops. There's now 2 of these known in the world. And that one, yeah, the Walton sticker was there, and I think it was on quite a sick angle. So that one's, the placement of that is spectacular.
Yeah.
That's just like a full museum piece. Like, yeah, 2 Star Wars figures, included impacts, double special offer on both sides. Crazy piece. And yeah, like I said, Simo, with the more research we did, and the more rare we realised it was, and one had not been seen before. There was only a cardboard cutout, I believe, was the only known.
That's right. Yeah.
Anything close to the known example of it. So, look, I'm glad we've got Simo here hawking eBay, mate.
Yeah. And and from my point of view, I mean, the point of collecting is the fun of the chase, And
absolutely.
And even learning from you, I mean, your own collection sort of cycles through. Like you enjoy finding stuff,
definitely.
and you sell it on. It just harkens back to when we were kids and just going to Carron Up Swap Meet, going hard trying to find a single figure or buses out to
get excited by a 50-cent beta figure or a mini rig or something.
So it's always about the chase, and we just had a couple of weeks probably just losing our minds, having fun. Like we're literally texting every day about it.
It was explosive.
And in the end, I think you got sick of asking for tracking requests, so you just wanted the tracking number.
I got the tracking number. I was tracking every time there was a tracking event, we'd mess each other or find out who would call the other one first or whatever.
Just losing, having fun every day.
Just so glad I got here in one piece, because if this was crushed in a box or something, that would have been just devastating, Because look how pristine it has been for so long and such a find.
Unbelievable.
It's I've never ever found anything good on eBay. Like I've been buying and selling on eBay since 1999, mostly selling, but I've bought some stuff. Never had a bargain. The most I've found was like a Taiwan only Vader, like a little like a variant mixed in a box of lots, but never anything crazy where you find something this rare or worth a lot of money. So, and you've done it quite well. You've found this one. You found a few nice ones.
Yeah, I found it was about 50 figures that were basically taken straight off cards.
Correct. Yeah, that was mint. Yeah.
I got them for less than $20 each.
Yeah, that was an excellent. Gammies and yeah, it's really nice figures.
Quite a few doubles, but out of those, I reckon I got 20 towards my collection. And again, it just makes my collection mean more to me because of that excitement of getting this wicked score.
Absolutely.
And it was just, even that seller was like, everything else he had was overpriced for what it was.
Wasn't, yeah.
But everything else was sort of carded figures from the 90s and stuff, but
it was Star Trek and X-Men and stuff, wasn't
Star Trek and X-Men and stuff, and for whatever reason he thought because these had kind of fallen away or the cards had sort of been eaten away or something, he's like, oh, they aren't worth as much. Just a great score.
He put a premium on sealed card and stuff.
And again, we had a bit of fun, like going, because I was overseas when I bought it, and we're going, we have to wait a month to check them and then check all the weapons, see if they're legit, and you did all the tests on all the weapons.
Yeah, I was 100%. That was dead. I mean, the gammies were perfect horns and everything was just tight, like unmoved legs, arms, everything. So that was a nice score. But
all of this stuff, it's the good fun of finding it, seeing if you scored, the waiting, the anticipation, and all that.
Absolutely.
Because if you wanted to, you can just drop massive coin on eBay and you can build a collection in a week.
Oh, absolutely.
And then super mint, but where's the fun?
There's no fun, and I have found from my experience, we're deviating from this, but who cares?
Yeah.
Found a lot of people that come on the scene, they'll go nuts, they'll spend thousands of dollars, they'll buy it, fill their collection a month, 2 months, whatever. Those people don't stay around for long. They'll often get bored of it and they'll sell on, and often at a loss. They've overpaid to get their collection quick, impatient, and they'll move on. And some of those collectors come and go. A lot of those collectors come and go. Whereas I built my collection by buying massive lots, selling them all. I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was keeping a couple of figures. And the biggest story of that was I spent $4K once on a massive collection just for the bloody blue snaggletooth, which is up in there. And I ended up getting the blue snaggletooth, I think it was for $150 or $200 Australian, and it was super mint, so that was really good, but I spent $4K to get it, but a story I'll never forget. So most of my figures I kept 1 or 2 from a lot, a nice one, sold the rest, broke even, made $100, whatever, and just kept going. And I found that super fun, and I'm at the point now I've got most of the toys I want. The only thing I'll buy now is, I get for myself, is when I get stuff through, or someone finds something, or someone gives me some stuff to sell. Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep that. I haven't got it. It's beautiful. It's mint, or it's an upgrade, and then I'll keep it. I don't really hunt things. But it's a way more fun way of doing it. You enjoy the chase.
Yeah, and you can slow it down and enjoy it now. Even with my set of figures, I've just got really
a
dozen of the last
most of the last 17.
Last 17 to go, and just I'll buy one every 3 months or 6 months or something. I'll stretch it out for a few years just for the sake of, because once it's done, it's done.
Well, that's right.
Once it's done, and then you move on to something else.
So that's right. Yeah. And I kind of got that with my Star Wars. I've had too many, and I've got sick of it, and then I started collecting other things, and there's so much out there. You forget how much kids you had, toys you had as a childhood. Even that weird Tommy bloody air-powered tool thing blew me away because I've completely forgotten about it. And from time to time something comes in I completely forgot about it and it just blows your mind, and then you want to collect it. You gave me that Mysterions.
I did, man. He's down there.
I've got a mint on card Mysterions. I can't bother getting it out. I'll put a picture over like that. Mint on card. I completely forgot about them, and they're not worth much, but
no.
So cool.
So cool. And so, yeah, random. I mean, you either liked them or you didn't. You either saw them in that 1 year they were in $2 shops, or you didn't, you know?
That's right.
I guess the other good thing to mention about this is that it's going to somebody who's like, it actually matters to them.
Oh, absolutely.
And in some ways, like for us, being from Perth, like I've got no emotional connection to Waltons at all. I feel like if there was a equivalent for Bones or something like that, I grew up in Geraldton, going to Bones was where you'd go and get your toys from, like,
yeah.
You know, and that's where all the, was it Bones or MYERs that used to do the Star Wars exhibitions?
It was MYER, I believe. Bones may have done it previously, but I know MYERs were out of control. Their toy exhibitions were ridiculous.
Any of that would hit my nostalgia really hard.
Yeah.
And I'd be all over this. So it's kind of nice that I don't have the nostalgia factor for Waltons, but that there are people out there that really do.
Definitely, absolutely.
After I work in Brisbane a lot, you know, Fortitude Valley, and there's an old Waltons store still there. I mean, it's not a Waltons now, but I did the pilgrimage, went and checked it. And it's that beautiful old kind of department store.
So it's vacated, isn't it?
Vacated, yeah.
That's really
very cool. So it's cool that it's going, you know, to a place, to somebody where this actually matters to them. You know?
Oh, absolutely. This is going to end up being in a museum at some point, no doubt. It's a hell of a piece. We've waffled on, but that's what it's all about.
Totally.
Simo's, this guy, man, we've often talked toys. It's non-stop. We run 10Ks on a Friday, and half the time, we spend bloody night. It's a 1 hour run. We spend 45 minutes talking toys.
Especially on tough runs, we just need to get through it.
Oh, hell yeah, you just
talk about something interesting.
The toys, man, they can drain your wallet, but they can get you through a workout.
Get you fit for sure.
Get your head in the right space. There's been this guy, like, honestly, I don't think I've met someone that can talk toys probably as long as you, or as many times a day as you. Like, I'm passionate. This guy's probably my equal, if not more. There's days where I've called him, spoken for half an hour, then calls me 5 minutes later, I'll talk again, and then finish the phone call, and my missus goes, "Who was that?" And I said, "Oh, yes, Tim." He goes, "Didn't you just talk to him?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hang on, did you talk to him like 3 times?" Sometimes you speak 5 times about toys. It's ridiculous. So this is what you want. Like,
so it's the joy of, you know, still hanging around kids you grew up with, you know, like.
Oh, for sure.
Life's busy and complicated enough. It's nice to just go. Let's just talk about fun shit.
Take fun. Go back to better times and whinge that the kids are now playing iPads and whatever, and what we had, like.
Yeah.
Go back to that MYER thing. We were waffling hard, so feel free to tune out, but you shouldn't because it's too much fun. But when those MYER exhibitions were on in the city, and they used to advertise them in the paper, and I think it was even was that advertised on TV? I think it was, It was huge.
Because I was in Geraldton, we had to come down to, it was MYER's, because we had to come down to Perth for them, so we'd be begging hard for stuff.
Advertised on TV?
I don't remember. In Geraldton back in the day, you didn't have any commercial TV. We had ABC, that's it.
So there's no child that didn't know that there was a Star Wars display at MYER's. And like the day you're going, like you're pumped, you wake up, we're going to MYER's, you catch the train into the city. It's a day, like a full day fest. Your mum takes you in on the train, and it's just ridiculous. They had a Millennium Falcon you could walk through, then it goes that led on to Dagobah, and there's bloody stuff. Do you remember it well?
I remember it well, but I was just thinking, we'd be amazed at how small it was. Like,
probably.
To in my brain, it was a whole floor.
Yeah, I think it was not far off.
Really?
I think it was not far off. But they had vines hanging from the ceiling for Dagobah.
No,
and
it
then
was full kit.
Once you walk through these made-up scenes, you end up in the most ridiculous toy display ready to buy.
Yep.
And I think they did it for the launch of the Jedi toys, I remember. And there was a bunker, a mock-up bunker, fake indoor bunker there, with a million toys. You've never seen so many toys ready to go, and kids are just go, and parents must have gone bloody broke, man. Like, what a time, mate. Like,
what a great time. They used to do Lego ones as well, quite regularly.
The Lego one,
I feel like every year they did a Star Wars and a Lego one.
Oh, Lego was huge too.
Yeah.
But the other ones, there was nothing else that crazy.
Those are the ones I remember.
Yeah.
Star Wars one, you're always begging to come down to.
There was the school holidays all the time. I think it was one for the whole school holidays, the half school holidays, and it was meant to a million people there. Like the whole city was buzzing because of people in Star Wars clothes and kids walking around with Star Wars toys. There's nothing like it now. Like, we've got Toy Mate. Like that's about the only toy shop left, isn't it? And that's kind of overstock of whatever.
Yeah, randomy type stuff.
Cheapo stuff that's couldn't sell at department stores. All Toy World's gone. Wonderland's gone. Sad times for young kids now, Anyway, we'll probably end it there. So a lot of toy waffling, but that's what we do.
Yep. So next stop of this guy is new owner.
It's going to its new owner, hand delivery.
Hand delivery. Yep.
And thanks for watching, guys. I'm hoping to find some more cool stuff. I've been saying to everyone I'm going to find a Minton card Tortoise jaw one day. My favourite figure. I'll find one day and I'll show it to you. But I love this stuff. Like, if you can contribute to some bit of history, provide some information that people who've loved, people who've studied this stuff for 30, 40 years. If you can tell them something they didn't know, that's insane, really. Like, I'm just an idiot that finds toys, sells toys, buys toys, whatever. Probably, me call us idiots, but that's what we are, really. But if we can give some information to a complete expert, it's awesome, mate. It's quite fulfilling. And
nice that it's Australian, right? Too, like
absolutely.
You get part of the Australian history of the hobby.
Yeah. I've gotten to the point. Most of my stuff I get is local finds, selling collections for people, and I come across a lot of Aussie stuff. I love it. It's so much better. I don't buy anything from overseas anymore. Australian stuff, just there's so much here that I'm happy doing that, and there's nothing like finding an Aussie piece. This is incredible. Probably the best thing I've thought. Easily the best thing I've seen. Yeah. It's a hell of a score, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining me again, mate. Simo's providing me most of my content on YouTube, guys. So thanks for watching. There's heaps more coming there, guys. So keep watching, and who knows what grows next.
Exactly.
Thanks, Simo. Take care, my man. You can shake me with a glove. Cheers, guys.